Good morning. So for today, and this is actually the first video in a little mini challenge I'm doing for myself. So I want to get into the content creation space, and I've been wanting to do it for ages. I have published a few videos on that, but I'm struggling to get consistency. So what I've decided to do is make an attempt at 100 days of content. So every single day for 100 days, I'm going to record a video based on some piece of work that I'm doing. And likely it's all going to be related to web development. So to give you a bit of context, I work with the Laravel framework. It's a PHP framework. And that's my main work. So I work with Laravel and I build web applications. I also do a bit of marketing, some MailChimp, assisting clients getting their businesses going in that. So I might throw in a whole mix. But yeah, so today is the first day kicking off, and what we're going to be looking at, because I am at the stage now where it's that time of year where I need to do some Laravel core upgrades. So I've got a few web applications which are on Laravel 8 and they need to be pushed to 9. It's not critical right now, but it's just a good practice, and I think I've got about 6 applications that need to be upgraded. So while I'm doing one, I might as well do them all. So here we go. This is the Laravel homepage, and there is actually documentation specifically for upgrades to Laravel 9. So we can click on the documentation at laravel.com, and the latest version is 9, so just make sure you're on 9. And then to find the upgrades documentation page, you can just go to search, and I usually just type in upgrade. So there we go, upgrade guide. Okay, so what the upgrade guide does is it shows you detailed information about what packages need to be updated, what versions they need to be updated to, and it also gives you information about upgrading code as well. So namespaces might change, standard syntax, that kind of thing might change. So as you can see at the top here, it's got high impact changes, medium, and then it does have some of them which it says are low. So what I recommend doing is going through the whole page right to the bottom, even though it seems like there's things in here that we haven't even been exposed to or used. I found that when I've presumably done a proper upgrade, I come back a bit later because my application still isn't working for some reason, and very often I find that it's somewhere down at the bottom, something that I've missed or skipped. So these are updates which are very specific to the Laravel core itself and the official first party packages. What it does recommend is you have a look at whatever packages you are using that are not integral to the Laravel core, and look at their specific documentation for upgrade instructions. What I often do is I will upgrade packages for Laravel 4, and then just exclude or remove those packages in the composer.json file, which might be giving me hassles, and are not critical to the Laravel core. So then I'll upgrade the Laravel core, and then I'll come back and require those extra packages again. So I don't remove any of the code or anything, literally just the vendor packages. So as you can see here, the very first thing, the very first thing to do is to actually update the Laravel framework itself and your PHP. So the minimum requirements 8.0.2. What I generally do is just make it 8.0. So just to show you this is a sample. This is an actual project that I'm running live now. Sorry, that I am upgrading. That is one of my projects that I'm working on. So the very first thing that you do is open up your composer.json file, and this is something just that I do, is I'll actually just save up a backup copy of this composer file. It's just good standard, good practice. Okay, so let's save that and call it composer 002. Cool. So if I need to go, if I've removed anything, I need to go back and reference something, then I can do that. So I'm going to close the backup and open up my composer file. Okay. All right, let's begin. So really what I found with doing Laravel upgrades, it's a lot of trial and error, just going through one piece at a time. When errors come up, you just deal with them as they go. So the first thing to do is PHP, and what we want to put is 8.0. Okay. And then the Laravel framework, we're upgrading to 9. Okay. So we can save that. And the way we test everything obviously is to run your composer updates. Yeah, composer updates. So I'll show you an example of that. Just bring my console into view. Alright, so we're in the project and I run composer update. So I'm running Composer, I've run Composer update, and it gives me a couple of issues here. So this is a third-party package, and this is for managing roles in the Laravel Nova admin backend. And this facade ignition is related to upgrades that I need to do now, that are actually in the documentation. Yeah, so I mean there's not too much, but let's just go through everything one by one. Okay. Alright, so the first one is to Nuno Maduro collision up to 6.1. I search for it. Okay, cool. So we're at 6.1. And just check the syntax for that. Okay, great. Okay, so now we saw there was an error with facade ignition, and we need to replace facade ignition with the Spatey Laravel ignition. Okay, fantastic. So I'm actually just going to copy that, and I'm going to go and find this package. There we go. Okay, so we're going to remove that altogether and put that in and save. Alright, great. Okay, what's the next one? Okay. Alright, so Vinage used to be called Nexmo, and it is a package that I use. Vinage is for, Vinage is for sending out SMSs. So it's a third-party communication platform. It used to be called Nexmo. Okay, let's just check if I have that in. And I'm actually not, I don't know if I'm using it for this in this project. Let's have a look. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Okay, so that's fine. We can skip that. Alright, so PHP return types, this is an example of coding standards, so it's not necessarily package related. Application contracts, alright, cool, so this is general code stuff. To be honest, I haven't really had to needed to update code, so it's not something that's usual for me. Most of mine is package related. Okay. Alright, Blade, collections. So I'm skimming through this. It's not like it's not critical to go through and manually check every single thing, because what will happen is, sooner or later, if you miss it here, you will find the error, and then you'll be able to just come back and search for something specific. Okay, so input database, Eloquent. I don't see anything specific here to my project. Yep, all looks good. SARDS, file system. Okay. File system, piles, order, file manipulation. I do use file system, obviously it's part of the core, but I don't see anything that I necessarily need to upgrade here. Yeah, it is part of the Laravel core bundle. In another project, I was actually using this SFTP file extension. So in that case, patch extension package. So in that case, I did actually have to go and update that. I don't see anything. Here. Helpers. Okay, HTTP clients. Alright, cool, noted. Symfony mailer. This is definitely one that you will need to, likelihood of impact high. So if you're sending out mail from your web application, which most do, then you need to check on this. So I'm not currently using Mailgun, but I do use Postmark. So I need to, if I'm using it, then you need to remove the Wildbits SwiftMailer Postmark package and put in these two here. So I'm just going to check quickly if I do have this package. Okay, whoops. Okay, great. So I'm not actually using it, so I don't need to stress about that. Okay. Alright, next. There is one right at the end, which that's why I'm scrolling through everything. There's one at the end that I need to change, and this is it. So trusted proxies, this is an example of one issue that I didn't update initially, but then I had an error coming up around middleware, and doing a quick bit of Googling, then I came back and found that this was the issue. So I'm just going to preempt that. Alright, so here, this is a coding update. It's not a package upgrade. So if you're upgrading to Laravel 9, you may need to update your application's trusted proxy middleware. So that's what this is. We updating middleware. So within your trusted proxies PHP file. Okay, so that's the first thing, is opening up this PHP file. Shortcut Control P. Control V. Trusted proxies, there it is. Alright, so this is the file that we need to edit, and you can see it is different to the example, so it hasn't been updated yet. Okay, so the first thing gives you a before and after, and we're going to replace the single line defining the headers with this multi-line option. Okay, so in this case I'm just going to delete what's there already, leave some space, and paste in this code formatting. And what I'm missing here is I need to, let's just check it quickly. Oh yes, so I have to also change the use statement. Okay, so copy. So I'm going to remove that. Okay, so it's replacing the package for this service. So I'm going to remove this, and then the next step is actually to remove that Fidel package from our composer JSON file as well. So here it is. So Fidel Fidalopa proxy, if that's the correct pronunciation. So what we want to do, here it is, and I can just remove that. Okay, save, and save my proxies file. And every now and then, let's just see how we're doing, and run a composer update. I'm running this from inside a Homestead VirtualBox, by the way. Okay, so some errors. Alright, cool. So let's go back to the top. Orange Hill iSeed. Okay, great. This is one that I actually use quite a lot. So I've had this issue with iSeed before, and what I do is just remove it from the composer file, and then I manually require it again on the command line. So and then another little trick. Okay, so I'm not sure exactly how or why this works, but for these other errors like the support error for now, and I don't know if it's a permanent solution, but it's just a workaround that I found on one of the forums, is that you can actually specify PHP 7.3. Oops, that's the wrong one. Okay, 7.3, and then separate the two with a pipe. And I'm just going to remove iSeed as well. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Ah, there we go. Oh, sorry. What you can do instead, and I know this from a previous upgrade that I did, I went to the Orange Hill iSeed GitHub page, and I just checked what the latest version was, and I put that in there. So it's a bit different to what I said before, but it was just an easier and a quicker and a more efficient solution than removing the packages like I'd done on previous exercises. So I just googled it, and I found the GitHub page here, and yeah, and if you scroll down, you can see the latest stable version is 3.0.2. So then I just go and upgrade it here. So 3.0.2, and then that should work. Okay, great, because it's the latest version, and everything up in here is what we're upgrading to the latest. So makes sense. All right, let's try and run our composer upgrade again. Okay. Okay, so one package that we need to upgrade here is Laravel Nova. So I'm still using version 3 of Laravel Nova, and the way we upgrade that is to download Laravel Nova from the Nova website. So I'm just going to close the tabs here. So we're looking at, and if you haven't seen this before, it's a really, really great backend platform, and it's also developed by Taylor Otwell, and basically the people, the organization responsible for the Laravel framework itself. So here's Laravel Nova. It's basically an admin backend dashboard. I really recommend having a look at it. It's not free, but it's definitely worthwhile, especially if you're building enterprise grade solutions. So let's log into my account, and within here there are various downloads. So with version 4 you can't install it or upgrade it by downloading it. You need to actually put in a package with your username and password, but for 3 it's still a bit open, so we can download it from the site. Okay, so version 3, and I'm going to go to the latest that I can get of version 3, which is Orion. Alright, so we download that, and I can, let's see, that's fine. to extract it. Extract it to the desktop. It's totally cool. And show the files. Okay, so if I go in, you can see these are the files in my package. So I'm going to select all, Control A, Control C. By the way, these installation and upgrade instructions are on the Laravel Nova website if this isn't 100% clear. So I need to go into my code base, to my project, and find my Nova. This is my Nova directory. So basically it's the same one but an upgraded version. So I'm going to select everything and delete, and then paste the updated files, and there we go. So Laravel Nova is updated, and we should see that it is no longer an issue. So I'm going to just do Composer install again. Okay, great. So we can see that Laravel Nova is no longer an issue, but what I'm seeing here, and I still haven't really figured out why it's doing this, because I would have thought Illuminate support is part of the Laravel core. So I'm going to pause this video and just do a little bit of research, and I'll be back in a second when I find a working solution. Okay, I'm not sure if this is related, but I saw further down here that I've got this package here, the DOM PDF package for generating PDFs from web views. I'm not actually using it anymore, so I'm going to remove it and see if that improves things. So let's find that and just remove it. Okay, save, and then and we have success. Green is go, guys. Green is go. Fantastic. So what's very interesting is that, well, what I feel like has happened is that it's trying to use the older versions of Illuminate support, because that package, those older versions, are required by some of the packages that are currently installed in your application. So by removing those legacy legacy versions of the applications, you can go ahead and everything works. So that's great. So the final last step to do is to go and add in whatever packages we're still using that I have removed. And what is useful about setting the backup of the Composer JSON file is I can go and quickly check for these packages that I've removed, and then I can just, oopsie, that's the wrong one, and I can just put them back in. Great. So that is a backup. Yes, that's the backup where it was still PHP 7.4. Alright, so what did I take out that I need to put back in again? I think it was just this, okay, Orange Hills iSeed and the Nova tool permissions. So what I'm going to do is actually just run those again in the command, in the CLI. Okay, so I'm going to copy that and just go back to my this. Okay. Alright, I'm not 100% sure what the issue was. Okay, so I think, yes, alright, so in my provider I'm still referencing the DOM PDF. So let's go and check that quickly. I think it's in App Service Provider. No. Okay, so it's actually in the app config, in the config file app.php. At the bottom we've got all our providers. Sorry, I forgot about it because it's been a long time since I've actually had to manually register any packages, but I can see there we've still got Berry DOM PDF, Berry VH. So I'm just going to delete it and save, and let's see where we're at. So yeah, that's great. So I mean, it looks good, and let's just run composer update. All right, it looks good. Okay, so let's add those packages in again. All right, so what am I missing? Composer 2. All right, so I need to put in composer require orange hill, iSeed, and permissions. Okay, cool. So I have already updated iSeed. I don't need to put that in again. Let's do these. Okay, so this is the one for managing roles. Okay, great, that's done. So now I need to add back in the Laravel passport. Use these for API. Okay, composer requirement. Great, and we finally have success. Apart from a couple of warnings, etc., everything is green, everything's good to go. So that's from the last command that I ran. So we're good. And looking at this video, it's about 27 minutes. It took a bit longer than I should have, I guess, with the new with the other applications I go in and upgrade now. Should be quicker each time, but it says about 30 minutes, put aside about 30 minutes. So yeah, there we're done within 30 minutes. Thanks very much for watching. See you tomorrow.